Coming up next, a new program aimed at keeping Pennsylvania's schools safe is yielding results. We visited a local school administrator to get all the details.
Many college students live with 2 or 3 roommates. Stay tuned to hear about a Penn State senior who lives with 27. The Center County Report starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Haley Brown.
And I'm Emanuela Blanc. Thanks for joining us. The man who served as Penn State's president during the Jerry Sandusky scandal may soon be heading to jail. That's because Pennsylvania's highest court will not take up his appeal. The state Supreme Court decided yesterday to not hear Graham Spanier's appeal on his child endangerment conviction. Spanier argued that the trial judge in a lower appeals court wrongly relied on a statute of limitations law that prosecutors never cited. He's been out on bail and has not begun serving a sentence of 2 months in jail and 2 months of house arrest.
A new study says Pennsylvania children killed or nearly killed after abuse spiked recently, possibly driven by changes to state law and more awareness after the Sandusky and Catholic Church scandals. The State Human Services Department issued a report yesterday into fatalities and near deaths in 2015 and 2016. It shows both reports up sharply. The numbers range between 80 and 92 from 2009 through 2014, but in 2016, that number jumped to 127.
It's only February, but local schools have lost a lot of class time because of winter weather. State College is within 1 inch of an all-time record for the wettest winter. The latest blast of snow and ice closed schools on Wednesday here at State College. Reporter Logan Westbrook has more.
Puxatawney Phil predicted an early spring, but he forgot to tell Mother Nature. Central PA faced yet another snow and ice storm on Wednesday. Local schools shut down again and Penn State canceled classes. As much as 8 inches of snow fell in Center County before it turned to heavy sleet and freezing rain. It was the 4th time this semester that Penn State canceled classes to go along with 2 shortened days because of weather. With back-to-back storms in the past few weeks, students like Grace Fogel are ready for spring.
I'm sick of the weather. It's constantly snowing and it's not fun to walk in every day.
Crews were out in force in the storm, salting, plowing, and removing the snow along with people digging out of their parking spots. A lull in the precipitation during the afternoon helped the snow removal process before the sleet and freezing rain moved in. And remember, it's a must to clean off your car before you do hit the road. All that snow could fly off onto other vehicles and create an accident. Snow totals ranged from almost 4 inches on the University Park campus to 4.5 in Bellefonte and 8 in Stormstown. I'm Logan Westrope for the Center County Report.
State College has already received more than 30 inches of snow this winter. Since weather records started in 1893, we average around 45 inches of snow per year.
A Penn State student accused in a crash that killed a Bellefonte man last year is heading to trial. Nyla Oliver was in court for a preliminary hearing on Wednesday. Police say she was driving more than 80 miles an hour just before she lost control of the car and it crossed the median and crashed. 47-year-old Robert Bloom died in the head-on crash. Oliver faces homicide by vehicle and other charges. A judge bound her over for trial.
The lone survivor of last month's shooting at a Ramada Inn bar in State College has a long road to recovery in front of her. Police say Nicola Brino was critically hurt after being shot by Jordan Whitmer on January 24th at P.J. Harrigan's. Since then, she's undergone a total of 8 surgeries. Friends of Abrino started a GoFundMe page and have already received over $14,000 in donations towards her medical bills. 4 people died in the shooting spree, including Whitmer, who killed himself.
A new mandatory state program to keep schools safer is already having an impact across the state. Reporter Hannah Mears has the story.
School shooting tragedies like the one in Parkland, Florida last year have educators and lawmakers around the country taking new steps to improve safety. Here in Pennsylvania, a threat reporting system for all schools around the state is now required. In its first full year, it's handled almost 5,000 tips. about a third of them serious enough to pass along to police and school officials. The Safe to Say Something program funnels tips to an around-the-clock call center at the Attorney General's office in Harrisburg. The goal is to respond to troubling behavior, unsafe school situations, and other serious issues like suicide threats.
The program is very easy to use. All you have to do is pick up the phone, send an email, or even download the app on your phone.
In the first month alone, close to 1,400 reports were considered important enough to notify a 911 center. State College Area School District Assistant Superintendent for Secondary Education, Will Stout, commented on the early impact the program had on local schools after students and faculty were trained on how to use it.
As we expected, we had a spike in tips that came through after the training.
Stout believes that the program will be beneficial now and in the future.
It's a really good option that's out there because folks don't always feel safe reporting things directly to the school.
The Safe to Say program is mandated in all kindergarten through 12th grade schools, including charter, private, and vo-tech schools. In State College, I'm Hannah Mears for the Center County Report.
The program is already paired with 3,800 schools.
Central PA is under a high wind watch for later this weekend. Patrick Wright is coming up with the weekend weather forecast.
Plus, the latest on a popular store closing its doors at the Nittany Mall. Also coming up, we talk with one of the top high school wrestlers in Pennsylvania on his quest for a state championship. That's in sports. Payless Shoe Source will become the latest at the Nittany Mall to close its doors in 2019. All 2,100 Payless stores nationwide will be closed by May 2019, with many shutting down as soon as early March. Their online store will also be taken off the internet in May. The Nittany Mall has seen a lot of turnover in past years. 10 stores closed in 2018 alone. Despite the closings, some new stores continue to open, such as K&B Inflatables Please.
Most voters know major party candidates have to win their party's primary to make it onto the general election ballot. But how do they get those spots in the primary race? Tyler Olson takes a look.
Last night, the Center County Democratic Committee hosted a petition signing event at the Nittany Lion Inn. More than a dozen Democrats running for office were there as voters signed petitions to place them on the primary ballot. Amanda Green Hawkins, a candidate for Superior Court judge, says these petitions are a natural extension of America's democratic process.
Well, during the petition process, registered Democrats have to sign a petition to basically say, we live in a democracy, and it's the voice of the people basically saying that, yes, this is someone we want to be a candidate on the ballot when we vote.
Most voters have probably never signed one of these petitions or even know that they exist, but these candidates need their signatures in order to appear on the ballot on May 21st. To appear on a Republican or Democratic primary ballot in Pennsylvania, candidates for president, U.S. Senate, and governor need 2,000 signatures from members of their party. The number decreases for lower profile offices. State delegates need just 300. This requirement ensures candidates with a legitimate chance are the ones who make it onto the ballot, but Center County Commissioner Mike Pipe says there are other benefits too.
Politics can be so fast-paced. You spend so much time trying to get things done and get things accomplished, but what can happen with the petition process is you can slow down, have more time to speak with people about their issues.
Petition signers also aren't committing to vote for a candidate. Their signatures simply start the decision-making process that culminates on Election Day. Reporting in State College, I'm Tyler Olson for the Center County Report.
State College Mayor and candidate for the Magisterial District Judge Don Hahn, 12th District Special Election candidate Mark Friedenberg, and Center County Commissioner Mark Higgins also attended the event at the Nittany Lion Inn last night.
Former South Carolina Congressman Bob Inglis spoke at Penn State last night about free market solutions to climate change. Inglis is a Republican and the executive director of Republican, a nonprofit conservative organization focused on fixing environmental problems. He says citizens can find solutions without the government.
It's simple accountability. It's putting a price on emissions, just like there's a price on the tipping fee of garbage at the city dump.
The event was hosted by the College Republicans, the Council of Sustainable Leaders, the College Independents, and Young Americans for Liberty.
Well, the weather's been a little bumpy this week, if you hadn't noticed. Well, the last storm that we had on Wednesday, which canceled classes here at Penn State, dropped about 5 inches of precipitation, 3.9 inches of that. Well, that was snow. So it was a sleet fest later on in the afternoon last Wednesday, but the snow is still hanging around for a little bit here in State College, as it is covering Nittany Valley pretty gloriously right now. But temperatures around the rest of the region here, 36 here in State College, 38 in Altoona, and 34 in Johnstown. Towards the northwest, we do have 35 in Erie and 37 over in Pittsburgh. But then we do get into the mid-40s down in Philadelphia and 43 over in Harrisburg. So that's the general spread of temperatures around most of the state. Now, in terms of our satellite and radar, it's mainly clouds across most of the state, other than a few sun peaks over in Erie, but that's going to continue for most of the day today. We're going to see those clouds stay building in relatively thick, or at least so to speak, here in State College by about 10 o'clock tonight. Then by tomorrow, we do see a change with some showers moving in and a chance for some freezing rain by tomorrow morning and into the early afternoon, but that is diminishing as we head throughout the day as some heavier rain and warmer temperatures move on in by Sunday morning. So we will see that change over to mainly rain, but then move on out of our area by Sunday morning into Sunday afternoon. But temperature-wise here, 38 degrees for today with a generally mostly cloudy sky. Winds will be calm for now, but tonight we do expect a low of 27 degrees and clouds will be tucking us in as we head into the overnight hours. For the 7-day forecast, well, we do have some wind blowing into our area by Sunday as a cold front moves on through, so the high temperature will be in the morning, so it's going to be a chilly afternoon Wednesday with all that wind howling on through, and we do get back to just a little below normal for temperatures here in our area for this time of the month.
I thought our little groundhog friend said winter would be over.
I missed that week right after.
I guess we're exchanging our snow boots in for rain boots this weekend.
Pretty much, yeah. At least it's not snow.
Now we have Haley Curtis with sports.
Penn State's men's basketball is heading to Illinois after a big win at home this week. We'll look back at the win and look ahead to this weekend's game. Also coming up, a local high school wrestler who's having a great season is ready to take it to the top. Sports is up next. I'm Haley Curtis with sports. Penn State's men's basketball is on the road for a game at Illinois tomorrow. The Nittany Lions are coming off a big win and a night of records against Nebraska. Reporter Hannah Mears has a look.
It was all swishes and smiles Tuesday evening as the Penn State basketball team soared past the Nebraska Huskers with a final score of 95-71. The 95 points netted by the Nittany Lions set a program record for the most points ever scored in regulation during a Big Ten game. Aside from the team success, senior Josh Reeves reached a milestone as he knocked down a three-point shot late in the second half to reach 1,000 career points, making him the 36th player in program history to do so.
Credit to him and his work ethic that he's put over the years, and our staff. That's player development.
Reeves was not the only Nittany Lion to have individual scoring success during the game. Freshman Rasir Bolton put up 21 points, making this his highest scoring conference game of the season. But Bolton credited the individual accomplishment to the constant support from his team.
Having my teammates believe in me, just keep going, keep playing raw. You know, you'll be all right. Miss a couple shots, shoot it again. Just trying to stay focused and win.
Bolton also mentioned the team looking good in their pink and black uniforms that they are undefeated wearing this season.
I feel like we look pretty good at them, don't we? I like them.
Look good, feel good, play good. For the Center County Report, I'm Hannah Mears.
Tomorrow's tip-off in Champaign is set for noon. After a split with Michigan State last weekend, Penn State's men hockey fell back to number 19 in the USC HO rankings, heading into its final home series of the regular season against Wisconsin. The Nittany Lions could be without their second highest scorer, Evan Barrett, who was injured Friday against the Spartans and scratched Saturday. Coach Guy Gadowski said this week he's still not sure whether Barrett will be ready for the weekend.
Evan is day-to-day, so I honestly do not know. He's day-to-day. We'll find out more tomorrow and Thursday. And what happened is he just took a late hit that was a penalty.
This weekend, Penn State has a chance to jump over Michigan and Notre Dame or Minnesota to move into the third in the Big Ten standings with a sweep of the Badgers and some help. Wisconsin sits at the bottom of the conference with sophomore Sean Doogie, their double-digit scorer of the season. The Nittany Lions have 7 skaters with 10 or more goals. Penn State wrestling wraps up its regular season on Sunday. Reporter Cooper Deck has more from Rec Hall.
The top-ranked Penn State wrestling team will play host to the Buffalo Bulls this weekend in the final regular season match of the year for both teams. But this week's duel has a special meaning to the seniors on this team as it's senior day, which means it'll be their last time ever competing at Rec Hall. Last year, the two met under the same circumstances, and Penn State won convincingly 55-0.
I appreciate the support. I appreciate, all the times that they're, out there cheering for me and stuff like that. It's pretty awesome to have experienced that. There's no place like Rec Hall. It's definitely the best fan base and the best place to wrestle in the country.
While fans honor the outgoing seniors, Coach Cale Sanderson says saying goodbye to some of his star wrestlers is another part of his job he's grown accustomed to.
I think I say this every year, but I don't, they did their thing and they had their 4 years, and some of these guys have made the most of it. Guys like Jason Nolf and, Bo Nickel. We've had some really outstanding kids, and they do their thing here, and then it's time to move on in life.
It may be time to move on from Penn State, but senior Shakur Rashid says the relationships he's developed over his 4 years are ones that will last a lifetime.
Amazing. we're brothers now. It's not just them two, right? You got Neville's, Anthony, all of them. We're all family now. So, yeah, it's our last match, but we'll always, stay in touch and be together and continue our relationship as life goes on.
The duel is set for 2 p.m. on Sunday with Senior Day festivities proceeding. At Rec Hall, I'm Cooper Deck for the Center County Report.
The Nittany Lions are looking to complete a perfect season. They haven't dropped a single match this year. Now to high school wrestling. State High senior Cole Urbas is heading into his final postseason of his high school career, and he's looking to go out with the Pennsylvania state title. Reporter Tommy Butler has that story.
Cole Urbas is one of the most dominant high school wrestlers in the state, finishing the regular season a perfect 28-0. He enters this weekend's District 6 3A tournament as the top seed in the 195-pound weight class. Along with an undefeated season, Urbas earned his 100th win in January, a feat no state high wrestler had accomplished for nearly a decade.
It means a lot to me. It means that I get to inspire younger wrestlers and younger athletes at state high.
In his sophomore year, Urbas finished 3rd in the state in his weight class. In his junior year, he improved to 2nd in the state. Now, in his final year here at State High, he's looking to finish it off with a 195-pound title. State High coach Ryan Cummins is confident Urbas will finish his high school career with the title.
My guess is he'll win it this year. I'll be proud of him no matter where he finishes, but I think that's where he should finish.
Urbas has had a full week to prepare and rest up for the tournament, and he's excited to step onto the mat.
I want to get out there so bad that I can't wait for it anymore.
To keep his nerves from getting ahead of him, Urbas takes a nap between weigh-ins and his first bout.
I'll go under the bleachers with my pillow pet and just conk out.
He's got a gift. He can fall asleep anywhere, anytime. So I guess it relaxes him. It gets him ready to go. So if it works for him, go for it.
In State College, I'm Tommy Butler for the Center County Report.
The district's tournament kicks off for Urbas and State High's wrestling postseason tomorrow at the Altoona Fieldhouse. And congrats to the State High boys basketball team. They won the District 6 championship last night. That's all I have for sports. Now back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Haley. Coming up next, quick coursing around, and stay tuned to find out more about a local Penn State student with unusual living conditions.
A Penn State student is living out her senior year with some pretty unusual roommates. Reporter Chris Keating laced up his boots and traveled to the university's agricultural department to find out more.
Paulina Olenek is a senior in Penn State's College of Agriculture, and she's living out her last year of undergraduate studies in a peculiar way. Olenek is a live-in employee at the Penn State Horse Barn, where she shares the space with 4 other Penn State students and 24 horses. You heard that right. She lives in a barn. Olenek says her situation is very unique and says friends and family have a hard time believing she actually lives inside of a barn.
People don't believe me. I have had to actually take pictures of me walking into the room or a video of me in the room because it doesn't even make sense to them.
For most college students, the idea of living in a barn would be funny, but Olenek says it's an incredible experience to make money while taking care of horses.
I mean, the fact that I can just open my door and look out and see a horse is phenomenal. It's not something that I ever expected to happen or get to experience. So I think it's a huge honor and a privilege to get to live here.
And outside her bedroom door are 24 stables that her equine roommates live in as well. As a live-in employee, Olenek is responsible for caring and overseeing the horses. But the closest stable requires some extra special attention. The typical college student has 1, 2, or maybe even 3 roommates, but Paulina has 24, with a 25th on the way, as her closest roommate, Pinella DeVille, is expecting to give birth any day now. Olenek will live at the farm and care for the horses until her graduation in May. In University Park, I'm Chris Keating for the Center County Report.
Olenek is currently planning for life after school and intends to move from the barn to law school next fall.
That's all for today's newscast. You can find more of our stories on our website, centercountyreport.com.
And you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Twitter feed. That's at Center County REP or on our Facebook page. We also have our Center County Report Instagram. Join us for our next newscast next Friday. Have a great weekend.